Good afternoon. I've gone to the shed today to get out a bit of D-Day stuff after the massive success of the Mitchell on Instagram this week. Again, just to reiterate that I did in the previous video, thanks for all your support. It's much appreciated, and hopefully we're making a few waves in the diecast world and people are starting to take note a little bit. So I've gone out and grabbed just a few bits of D-Day stuff. So for anybody who follows the site, you would have seen some pictures from one of our members, Gary Jukes. He's got solely a D-Day collection of Mustangs, Spitfires, anything with stripes on pretty much seems to be the name of the game with Gary. And he made me a Fleet Air Arm Grumman Martlet with D-Day stripes on, very similar to the fighter collections at Duxford, which I'm really grateful for. It was an old IXO one, funny enough, as we were talking about in the previous video, and it's come up lovely. But can I find it? No, of course not, because it's under a pile of boxes somewhere, which is such a shame, because I managed to dig out a few bits to have a look at. This isn't everything. If I was to list everything you could get D-Day, we'd be here all day, and I'm sure you've got better things to do than listen to my dulcet tones. So just a quick overview. First of all, we have the PR Mosquito of the United States Army Air Force, based at Bradwell Bay, I believe this one was. This is the War Master Spitfire, which I got out of the shed and did a pictorial review of a few weeks back. This is the Corgi Mould P51D, the old style one, Old Crow. At the back, another one which might be familiar to you is War Eagle, which is a Collectors Club special, which I've dug out. I can't seem to find Snafu, it's buried in there somewhere. Then underneath that, you've got the legendary Basil Stapleton Typhoon, living near Hornchurch. He's a legend in these parts, obviously a famous fighter pilot from the same squadron as Sailor Milan. You then got this amazing Hobby Master Avenger, in D-Day, resplendent in D-Day stripes. Then you've got another familiar one, which is the P38 Easy Does It, again a Corgi one. And the final one is this magnificent RAF Mitchell in D-Day markings, which I'm sure you agree is actually probably one of my favourite diecasts now, looking back at it. So with D-Day, obviously you'd have to really focus on a theme to do that. Now, many of us have all got different themes. I'm quite eclectic and just have a bit of everything really, which costs you quite a bit financially and also ends up taking up a lot of room. But some of the guys on the site are specific in certain things. So Dan's got he's really focusing on his Battle of Britain collection at the moment. He's got a fantastic Biggin Hill, well, a quintet now, I think there's 5 of them, which he's managed to code through a couple more. And then you've got James, who's obviously got his Bomber Command collection, as his granddad was a tail gunner. And he's also had a Code 3 one made, which looks fantastic actually. He was in the same squadron as Alpha Leader, I believe, so he focuses on Bomber Command. So if you're going to focus on one thing, I think stripes on diecast aircraft do look really good. If I was to have a Spitfire, I'd certainly buy a Mark 9 and put D-Day stripes on it. But this sort of gives you a bit of an overview of what you can get. So if I was to be really honest, I think one big gap in the collection in terms of any diecast collection actually is probably a Tug Sterling in D-Day markings. I'd love to see one of them, especially if they could do it with a Horsa. So Corgi, if you're listening, please, that would tick a big box to fill a gap in the collection. But in terms of pretty much everything's been covered, I think the other sort of big gap for me would be the P61 Black Widow. There's been lots of Pacific themes from Air Force One, but no European ones as yet, especially with D-Day stripes. I think they look magnificent. But you can get some fantastic stuff out there. Now, the recently released Quitchabitchin Battle Britain Memorial Flight Dakota looks magnificent. The last Up Pottery C47 is fantastic. Plus you've got the David Lord, the VC winning Dakota, and you've also got the Buzz Buggy Dakota as well, which they all look fantastic. You get different Spitfires as well, so the Mark 5 and Mark 9 and Mark 14. You definitely get them in D-Day markings. I think a Mark 11 wouldn't go amiss, but that'd have to be a new mould. And of course, don't forget the Mark 19 Spitfire as well from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. It looks nice. But there's lots and lots you can get. Like I said, I don't want to list them all because you end up falling asleep listening to this. I just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of some of the bits I could get to, really. But yeah, that's really about it. I just thought I'd do a very quick video just to cover them off. I'll put some pictures up on Instagram on the site, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.